Welcome to the Fantasy Football Drive. Now here's Shawn and BK.
Fantasy Football Drive. We're back. Shawn?
Man, I'm glad to be back. Glad it's the weekend, and I'm glad you guys are tuning in.
Absolutely. First weekend show. Going to be a little bit shorter, but
Straight, straight to the
hey,
point.
straight and to the point. We like it that way. Get right into it. Some news. Training camp. Unfortunately, we saw Tampa Bay Buccaneers center Ryan Jensen go down. Does look like it's going to be a season-ending knee injury. I mean, no matter what, you hate to see that. It's a guy who hasn't missed a game in 5 years. Brady's center, you know.
Yeah, I hate seeing people not even make it into preseason or even into the season. You know, it's tough in training camp losing a guy, so I wish him the best. I hope he's heals up fast and can come back.
Yeah, I do too. I hate to see that. So yeah, I wish him the best. Also, Jamal Adams, Seahawks safety, he injured his finger in practice. Actually, got his finger stuck in a helmet, which is always lovely.
Oh,
Um,
that's painful.
yeah, so he's going to be out probably at least a little bit here. I mean, at least for a week or so for training camp, I would think. Obviously, not really fantasy related. I don't think the Seahawks defense is anything that anybody's going to go after, but just mentioning that as general training camp news anyway.
Oh,
Um, Marquise Brown on the Cardinals. Everybody might have some interest in this, at least. He is suffering a little bit of a hamstring injury. Sounds like Coach Cliff Kingsbury said he is hopeful to be back next week.
yeah, it's tough pulling them hammies like that. You know, I actually pulled mine in the beginning of this week, running with the kids in football camp.
Yeah, Shawn here is Mr. Coach Shawn. He's a big man on campus, drawing up plays. He has a future here as a coach, and that's what he aspires to be.
Nah, just helping motivate children into the lovely sport of football.
Yeah, that's awesome what you do, and yeah, I think it's good for the kids to have somebody, at least showing them the ropes, and why not from Shawn?
Right? Looking for a championship for them also.
That's what I'm saying. The champ.
So,
Um, Chicago Bears center Lucas Patrick, I believe it was, had a right hand injury. Tevin Jenkins also on the Bears is day to day, so their offensive line, which was already kind of pieced together in a struggle as it is banged up. And the Detroit Lions are monitoring DeAndre Swift's camp usage and plan on being quote unquote smart with him during training camp. I'm fine
got
with that.
got to keep them healthy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Don't chance it. There's no need for that. The kid's a stud. So Taysom Hill had a rib injury at practice today on the Saints. Just sounds like he's going to miss a little bit of time. I don't think he's anybody who's going to have a fantasy impact, but again, he seems to kind of pop up here and there. I've even seen people use him as a tight end in the past. So yeah, but he's going to be out with a little bit of a rib injury for a while. So um, that's the news that we got. Shawn, you have anything to add into there?
I don't. That's a lot of injuries just for being in training camp here.
Yeah, for like 3 days.
These guys are getting soft.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of them have even put on the full uniform yet, pads and everything. I don't think that starts till next week. So, ooh.
Right? They'll be dropping like flies next week.
Yeah. So, um, well, I have another question from the fan, Shawn.
Well, what do you got, buddy?
All right, and this one is kind of up your alley. Might be your forte. What rookie will have the biggest fantasy impact this year?
Oh man, there's a tough one here. Let me put a minute of thought in here. I mean, I do love my rookies. You know that. Very strategic with my rookies. They can be boom or bust. It is a gamble. But I think this year I'm gonna go with James Cook.
Okay.
I really like the kid. Buffalo went after him for a reason. You know, they already had two running backs that weren't that great. They went after one of the best pass catching running backs in the draft. There's a good reason for it. I mean, they're making a big push. I think he could have a huge impact on Buffalo's season, so he'd be one to look out for. So, which one do you picking out there, BK? Who do you got on there?
Well, if I was to say who would have the biggest fantasy impact, I guess I would probably have to say it. In my opinion, it would probably be Drake London. I just expect him to have 1,000+ yards, 6 to 8 type touchdowns, I guess, in that range. Um, there's not a lot going on in that offense besides Kyle Pitts, a little Cordero Patterson mixed in. Um, so yeah, I'd feel comfortable with Drake London, depending on where I could get him. But I think he will have the biggest impact in fantasy this season. So
Yeah, I can see him really ending up being a could be wide receiver one there in Atlanta in a short period of time. So
yep. So those are just a couple that we thought might be somebody to look for, and it actually segues us perfectly right into where we're headed, which is rookies. Um, as you can tell in the title, this is a little bit on training camp, but mostly about rookies. Um, it's pretty much just to kind of get the names out there. It might be guys you've never even heard of yet. Some of you might just be getting ready for some of your fantasy drafts in the next week or two, and you might need to hear some of these names. These names are probably going to go off the board, and most likely will have an impact one way or another in your league. And if Shawn has anything to do with it, he's going to help him be on your team and let you know who some of these guys are.
oh
Shawn?
yeah, I got quite a few favorite rookies in this draft already. We've in our last couple episodes here, I've talked about a couple of them. You know, a couple of them being sleepers, couple ones to look for. I mean, there are some great running backs and great receivers in this draft who could be like I said just a minute ago, they could be boom or bust. But I see quite a few boomers here, so
Yeah, and your recent rookie drafting success is one reason why I always kind of go to you for the rookie stuff. Always pretty knowledgeable with that stuff. Um, I mean, like last year, kind of give me an idea, like how your approach was with the rookies, what your thought was, and who you kind of went with, and then just some advice for people when looking at rookies.
well, I watch them in camp. I do a little bit of their college research. College to me doesn't make a rookie the best in the NFL because it's a completely different game from college to NFL. It's huge. You don't know the difference. Everybody down talk last year, Jamar Chase, all the way up until the draft. Who's Jamar Chase? He's got small hands. He can't catch. He's not that good.
Yeah,
Oh, he was a rookie who made it to the Super Bowl. So I was I watched him coming out of camp, and I watched him in preseason. He was a little sketchy. I caught him at a good value at 8 and ran with it, and he led the way for me. And then I took Waddle 2 rounds after him, thinking the same thing. Miami's got Devontae Parker and Gasecki. Waddle's a speedster, somebody they don't really have, and nope,
former teammate of Tua's.
right? And boom, they clicked. And near the end of the year, Waddle started turning it up. And then I also made the trade for Najee Harris. I traded AJ Brown for Najee Harris last year, and
Yeah.
that was that paid off. I mean, I ran most of my season playing 3 rookies and ended up with a championship. It is something you got to be careful with, though. I mean, you go too many rookies and they're not producing, then you lose a lot of picks and they're not going to be productive. But if you pick the right ones, you could have a very successful team. In keeper leagues, you could have a very successful keeper, and just watch them. They're going to get a lot of preseason time. That's one thing about rookies that you get your vets that don't. You get to see more of them in preseason than you do during the beginning of the season. So check them out in the preseason games and go from there.
Yeah, I think that's solid advice. And, you have had years of success with your approach at rookies. So I would advise when Shawn gives advice on rookies, I would listen. Not telling you what to do, but at least keep that ear open.
Yep.
What we'll do here is I'm just going to start kind of going over a list. I'm just going to say some names at running back that you'll need to know. Um, and we'll just kind of go in no particular order, no rankings, nothing. These are literally just us saying the names, getting you used to hearing them, and being prepared to kind of harness their value and where they should be. So running backs, you'll need to know rookie running backs. My first one, Brees Hall,
Stud.
running back on the Jets. Um, he's somebody you're going to have to know because he's going early.
Yeah, he's jumping off. I thought it was third round in the
Yep,
mock draft we did earlier.
third and sixth. It's been like between third and sixth round.
You got to get the people who know who he is first. You get the right people in the right room. He goes pretty quick. He's going to be RB1 in New York. He's going to get a majority of the touches. Good feelings on him. Who you got
Yep.
next there, buddy?
Kenneth Walker, running back on Seattle.
I've already touched base with him on our last episode. He is a speedster. He has got a lot of speed. And with that beat up Seattle backfield, you already know.
Yeah, and I love him too. He's got tons of speed. And as you stated, Pete Carroll loves to run the ball. Give me some Kenneth Walker, and he's probably, I would say, between like the 5th and 10th round, somewhere in there is where I've seen him going. Possibly 4th, but I really haven't seen it much with Kenneth Walker.
I got the next one here. I got the next couple. Okay, let me grab these ones.
Sure.
One of my favorites that we just talked about when you asked me, James Cook, Buffalo.
Stud.
You know,
Absolutely love him.
Moss is already third string. Singletary's he came on strong at the end of the year, but like I said, Cook was brought there for business, so Cook's going to be a good pick for people,
Especially in PPR, Shawn.
right? Then the next one is Rashad White for Tampa.
I like him a lot too, man.
Yeah, Fournette goes down. You got Rashad White, a great backup. I mean,
Absolutely.
and I see Fournette getting a lot more of the goal line. I mean, he's put on some weight, so Rashad might see some of the speedster action, instead of the power action.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see him in a little bit more than we expect, but we'll have to wait to see how it plays out.
Oh yeah, you want to grab that next one?
Yeah. Next, I have Damien Pierce on the Houston Texans. There's there's not a lot going on in Houston. The backfield's a little crowded. Marlon Mack and Rex Burkhead and some other guys, but when you got a young core team like that, I have a feeling you're going to end up seeing more of Damien Pierce probably at the middle to end of the year, not so much early. Thoughts, Shawn?
I haven't really done much research on him, but like I said, that's because he's in Houston. He's in a crowded backfield. I mean, he's got some vets there, but nobody who's really killer. So if he comes in preseason and makes a name for himself, I can see him climbing up there too pretty quick.
Yeah, and another guy that I'm high on is Isaiah Spiller on the Chargers. He is smack dab right behind Eckler, man. Enough said, right?
Right? Two-headed monster.
Yeah, so I mean, anything goes on with Eckler, boom, Isaiah Spiller is all of a sudden a gem. So another rookie there to look for. I have 2 more running backs, Shawn. One of them I'm really big on, and another one I'm not quite sure about. So I'll start with the one I'm not quite sure about, which is Samir White on the Raiders. I have not heard a lot about him yet out of camp. He's going to be right behind Jacobs. Kenyon Drake, I don't think is all the way back yet. I haven't officially heard that he's cleared, but I know, when it comes with Josh McDaniels, we've seen what he's done in New England in the past with the running backs, and this could be another one of those sneaky guys where we have never heard of him, and all of a sudden he's the next Damien Harris type thing. So, thoughts on him, Shawn?
Like I said, I really haven't heard much on him either. But But like you said, right being behind Jacobs goes down. White's going to get some action early, especially with that loaded wide receiver squad there in Las Vegas. If they're winning games, they're not going to be running Jacobs. So I mean, he could be a sleeper too. So I'd be watching the White for like late round value. So
Yep. And then a guy that I like a lot, which would be Bryan Robinson from Alabama, the running back for Washington, who they have already said is going to get goal line carries, and that can be scary for people who are high on Antonio Gibson at this point. But as we mentioned in one of our sleeper episodes, Ryan Robinson can be an absolute gold mine for you if anything happens to Antonio Gibson this year.
yeah, he does. He does have a little bit of crowd there though. You got McKissick in there too, and then you also it's like it's hard because McKissick's probably going to get the pass more of the passing route. So Robinson might have a chance on the running side of things.
I'll take those touchdowns though.
Yes,
I mean, if
we
he's
all
getting
will.
8 to 12 touchdowns this season, I'll take those.
Right? That's a pretty good set of rookie running backs this year.
Yeah, so that's some of the rookie running backs that you need to look out for. Now on to wide receivers. Now I'm going to start this one, Shawn, just because again it was the guy that was my biggest fantasy impact, and that is Drake London on Atlanta. We've already kind of touched on him. I shared my thoughts. What about yours, Shawn?
I actually agree with your thoughts on it. I don't really have anything to add to that one. It'd just be going over the same things that you did, bud. So
Okay. Yeah, we both kind of think he's going to have an outstanding season and should at least be up there in the top. I'd say at least top 36.
yeah, for sure.
Next, I have Traylon Burks on Tennessee, rookie out of Arkansas. What do you think about old Traylon Burks, big boy, taking over
Well,
AJ Brown's spot?
yep. I mean, just right filling in those shoes. They need a new number one in town there. I think him stepping up will be big there in Tennessee. Tannehill needs somebody to throw the ball to with the void that AJ Brown left. So you
Yeah,
thought I
so
was
he,
you thought I was gonna say Brown hole again, didn't you? See,
I was,
you were waiting. I
but
got you guys again.
technically you did because
I
you
just
did
nailed
anyway.
it again. See, it just happens that way. But I reworded it. I do see Traylon Burks doing well there. Tennessee needs that wide receiver one, so
Yeah,
hopefully
I
he
like
can
him as well.
handle it.
I like him as well, and I also like Garrett Wilson on the Jets.
The underrated Jets.
Yeah,
I
lots of
think
rookies on them Jets.
I'm man of the year, right?
Yeah. Old Zachy Zach.
Right?
Hey,
With Brees Hall, I mean, they're stacking it up. The next thing you know, we're going to be like, how did the Jets end in the Super Bowl? Now you
yeah,
know,
I
young and
wouldn't be
powerful.
surprised. Would not be surprised. You want to take the next guy, Sean?
I gotta catch up here. Where am I at? Where am I at?
Well,
Oh, there we are. Jamison Williams,
yes, sir. Love
Detroit.
James Williams.
The sneaky old Detroit. Gonna have all types of weapons, be all types of nasty, and at the hands of golf.
He's
So,
so fast, man.
as they say in Detroit, as we were there last year, tiny hands golf.
Yeah,
So that was the best, but he
tiny
really
hands.
turned it on at the end of the year. I see Williams being a great addition with St. Brown and Hawkinson. Uh, as long as Swift stays healthy, they should be a solid team. I think Williams will come in. I heard he's a little bit beat up though right now, so hopefully he gets that handled.
Yeah, it's still early in camp. They'll get that all situated. I like him a lot as well. I did want to mention, since you brought up the fact that we were in Detroit and tiny hands golf, that the game went so well that we actually ended up seeing David Bloff come in at quarterback there at the end. So that's how well that game went.
Right?
Next guy, Sean
Chris Olave.
Olave.
Oh, Olave. I'm
Ole,
not
ole, ole, ole.
right. You're hearing that chant probably, right?
Probably.
New Orleans wide receiver. Michael Thomas is back. We'll see if he can stay healthy. He's missed a significant amount of time. And then, man, I don't know though. I mean, it's questionable in New Orleans, but they got what, famous Jameis throwing the ball.
Yep, and they got Michael Thomas coming back.
Mm.
Don't know what's going on with Kamara. The
Oh,
defense is incredible, but that offense, I don't know.
we know what's going on with Kamara. He needs us to calm down.
Yeah,
That's what needs to happen.
he's got a court date August 1st. We'll see what happens
Yeah,
there.
he's got a suspension coming too. So
Um, the
move on to
next
the
guy,
next one. I like
next
this
guy,
next one.
yeah, the next guy I have here is George. It was just a scratch, not a Pickens, on Pittsburgh. So George Pickens. Shawn, your thoughts?
I really like George Pickens. I mean, with Ben gone, young Najee Harris, Washington's gone, Juju's gone. It's solid. He's got a place that you can call home. I mean, a little bit of quarterback situation going on there, but you got one retiring, one made a very bad life choice. So I mean, without that, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's going to get some targets. It's questionable, like you said, with the quarterback play as to where to rank him. But yeah, get used to the name George Pickens. Um, who's next on that list, Shawn?
Uh, Dotson, Washington. They got
Yes,
all types of
John
rookies in
Dotson.
Washington.
Yeah, he's got potential as well. He's a fast guy. You got McLaurin on one side, easily um, opportunities there for Dotson. What do you think?
I'm right with you. I think Scary Terry will be grabbing up that coverage, and Dotson will be running away with it. So definitely see him doing okay. It'd be one to watch and see how he adapts. So
And I know the next guy is one of your favorites.
yeah, I'm a big fan. Hopefully this guy can fill those shoes though in Kansas City there with Sky Moore. He's got some big shoes to fill, following up Tyreek Hill. But if anybody can do it, I think Patrick Mahomes would be the one to
Yeah, I
make
like
Sky
Sky
Moore.
Moore.
Yeah, I do too. I think Mahomes and him, if they get a good report, he will be taking the Hill spot because they don't have it. They don't have a number one there. I'm not big on anybody else in Kansas City. Kelsey's getting old. Hardman is not a number one, but Scantling, no. I mean, they need him more than anything. So hopefully he works out for them and turns it up. He's going late in draft, so I see him. I see him going 12th round, 14th
I've seen
round
him
area.
between like 9th and 12th round typically.
Yeah, he goes pretty late, which is kind of shocking for them not really having a good true number one in Kansas City.
I think that goes. I think that's kind of par for the course, though, because a lot of that is the unknown. We don't know what that Kansas City offense looks like, and it's that wide receiver crew is kind of muddied. So I think it's the unknown is what's causing him to fall back so much in drafts.
Yeah. The
And
next one,
the big guy next, Shawn,
Watson,
Christian
Christian
Watson.
Watson, Green Bay, another one trying to fill another set of big shoes. Well, I mean, if you guys don't understand and see all this, these guys are coming in after these big guys are gone. There's room for them to grow. They've already had that big receiver who's been there and grew, and these guys are trying to replace those holes. So we'll see. Uh, Watson's in a Watson's got a lot of growing to do there in Green Bay, but like I said, back to the thing. Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback who can make a wide receiver, and we'll see what he does with Watson.
And the nice thing is he doesn't have to fill the brown hole, so he's got that
Right?
going for him.
That is definitely true.
Next on the list, we have David Bell on Cleveland. Um, kind of a slot guy. We're going to see at least how that pans out. They got Donovan Peoples Jones and Amari Cooper on the outside. So, believe David Bell was an Iowa guy. Just going fresh off my head there. I know he was pretty productive there. It's going to be curious to see again. That's another guy where it's the unknown. We don't really know what or the quarterback situation is and how that receiver group is going to pan out. We just haven't seen it yet. So I
Right?
like David Bell. Shawn, anything to add about him?
Nah, I ain't got nothing to add on him. We're
Okay.
good. We good.
Next guy is, I'll take this one, Sean. It's Wan'Dale Robinson on the Giants. Now, I hadn't really heard much about this guy literally until probably Wednesday. It's Saturday now, so what's that been? 3 days basically, almost 4 days. All of a sudden, this guy is creeping up everybody's list. Um, I don't know if I'm just missing it or if he's getting overhyped. Um, John, I know that you're kind of an expert in this. How are you feeling about Wan'Dale Robinson on that Giants team?
Um, I just, the Giants are a hot mess half the time, so that's a hard one. Daniel Jones, I don't think has really proven himself too much yet. I'd like to see what he does with Daniel Jones. I mean, Tony did okay. I mean, they just struggle with injuries. Everybody on the Giants is always injured. So I mean,
Always.
you just got to go to New York to get hurt. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
happens. Hopefully, he stays healthy and can fill in for these guys.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We got two receivers left to hit on. Sean, you wanna start that one off with one of your guys?
Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver for Dallas. I
Gonna
haven't
be
done
the
much
starter.
research on Tolbert, so I I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm a Dallas fan at heart, but man, with Prescott, he's hit or miss. That
Gallup's
whole
out
team,
though.
that whole offense is hit or miss sometimes, and it's a struggle to want to say that hey, he's going to come in here and do big things. But he does have an opening with Gallup going to miss the at least the first game, which I heard confirmed, and possibly more. So he has an opportunity to start the season on the other side of CeeDee Lamb. So we'll see what he can pull out.
Yeah, I like him. I have a feeling he's going to end up being a starter in that slot just at the beginning of the season. It'll just be curious to see what role he carves out once Gallup gets back.
And this last one here, I'll let you handle this one. I know you're kind of hot on this guy. So,
Yeah, I love him. From Cincinnati University, Mr. Alec Pierce on the Indianapolis Colts. This guy already marked as a starter. He's going to get targets. How many? We don't know. But with Matt Ryan throwing them the ball and the way T.Y. Hilton and some of these other guys have blown up over the years, I got my eye on him. He is being drafted in every mock that I have done so far, usually late, like 12th to 14th round, but a guy right now moving up those boards.
yep, hey, that's great value too, especially if you can get him late in the rounds like that in the 12. So,
Yeah, and then as far as tight ends, I only have one guy. I don't know a whole lot about him myself, but again, this is just to get used to these names that could come to fruition, and that would be Trey McBride. He's on Arizona behind Ertz. So again, I think barring any injuries, he's going to probably be second fiddle and not get a lot. But it's a name again. Just remember these names start moving up the boards as people start drafting them and their ADPs go up. So just a name to watch and listen for, I should say, Trey McBride.
right.
Um,
I mean, that's the only tight end on the list and the rookies. It'd be nice to get another good tight end in the league. So, I mean, Ertz is pushing the age. He's been around a long time. He's been beat up. So I can see McBride maybe taking over next year because I think Ertz might be trying to retire here soon. So
yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot left in the tank.
no,
So Well, Sean, that's the end of the show for this weekend, at least. We'll be back on Tuesday. Don't forget to look for the schedule on the website, fantasyfootballdrive.com. Don't also go to facebook.com/fantasydrive and on Twitter, look for us at drive_fantasy. Sean, I know you were going to hit on the website as well. Go ahead.
yep. I just want everybody to make sure you guys go to our website. I mean, we have an app that you can tag to your homepage. So it'll be a quick link to check the schedules, check our podcast, Send us messages, do your thing, and that is at fantasyfootballdrive.com. Feel free to send us a message. We'll get you on here, answer some questions. And just wanted to give a shout out to somebody too, Noah from where I work. He's got his draft today. Good luck on that. Hope you guys pick some of these rookies up and keep listening throughout the year for more news and more info. So I'll send it back to you there, BK.
Yeah, and again, thank everyone from both of us for joining us again. Till the next time, that's the end of this drive. I'm Bryan.
I'm Shawn.
Peace out.
Peace.